Resident and called demons. There are two groups that should be mentioned in an introduction to demons. There are places that, because of their histories, are prone to infestations. They are places of violence, regular abuse, and emotional blackmail. They are places where these things are common and ongoing. They can be as small as a location as a shack in the woods where a man beats his wife for her own good. On the other end of the spectrum is the house of government, where there is nothing but bullying and lies flying back and forth. As a house of worship, where fear, hate, and entitlement are the themes of choice. These larger places often start with people who can never say anything good about anybody. They usually have their own personal demon. They are like bees that fly home, do a little dance saying there's lots of energy for the taking in this place. Then in times of stress, it is easy, without strong spiritual leadership, to see the positive and healing side drawing some more of the demons. It is very bad if it is the leader of the church who are the ones with their own escorts. They may or may not believe that they are doing good. If these demons are not purged on a regular basis, they get very comfortable. They have a vested interest in maintaining this status quo. When they are nice and comfortable, they will take constantly from the members of this church. Suffering and not joy become the messages in the church. New people who are looking for a spiritual home that affirms rather than tears down never come back. People who all their lives have been told that God is a vengeance-filled God will stay because they believe this is their lot in life and the best they can expect. If a congregation is basically positive and affirming, moves into a building that is filled with demons, they will be torn down spiritually. This is if the leaders do not have a very thorough house cleaning beforehand. If the leaders are modern, they may not even know that this could be a problem. They have been taught lately in seminary that these are artifacts of a bygone era. They learn in their elective psychology course that it's all in their head. A cursory blessing is never enough in this situation. If this blessing is done without belief behind it, it is worse than no blessing. This tells the demon that it is fertile ground for a continued occupancy. Hypocrisy and feigned expertise are a great source of negative energy. Sooner or later, the members of the church become jaded and leave. The ones who are devoted and committed become slaves to the energy draining out of their church. Their love for the box that holds their spiritual home keeps them giving energy to save the church, enslaving them to the resident demons. Often the minister will create an outside threat or negative influence to explain the drain of energy. This is like most dictators. Tyrants often will create an outside enemy to pull the people together in a united front. If they get energy by emotional blackmail, this is perfect because then the more they abuse, the bigger the payoff. The last category is the scariest variety. They are the kind that are called. These demons can be of any size or rank. The kind of demon that come at these times are usually not low level. Someone has to be desperate, crazy, or a megalomaniac to think of calling a demon. These people have to be very desperate and very power hungry. I have seen people go from fairly well balanced to suicidal overnight from this kind of activity. The kind that show up when called have immediate and total permission to take any and all energy from a person or a group. If this person who calls a demon has the spiritual lives of a group in their hands, they may throw these people or individuals as energy sacrifices instead of themselves to the demon. Any angel wielding the power of love from the one who is sent to cut off and block a caller from the constant flow of energy threatens the demon's food. The caller becomes a source of energy then. When the sacrifices become unavailable by angelic intervention, the energy has to come from somewhere, because the flow cannot be abated to the called demon. Often in a church, this becomes a devout, stubborn, invested members that become the food of the demon. Any angel sent to shield a congregation is a threat to the nice, steady energy flow to the caller. The energy in the congregation is for the healing of the congregation. That energy is meant to uplift them, to sustain them for a week of dealing with the world's needs and problems. What is extra does not belong to a minister. The surplus is a gift of love from the one. Self-aggrandizement, fear-mongering, and a sudden ethereal arrival of an outside attacker are often outward signs of a caller at work in a church, or anywhere else for that matter. This works best in a weakened congregation. This works best in a group that has always felt that life is out to get them. Real threat or not, it sets a group up for not thinking this threat through. They do not ask for proof of a threat, or to try to see if there might be an ulterior motive behind such an announcement.